supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, he's supposed to be on our side, right?
Maybe.
Uh, well, maybe not. This guy is, put forth his first plan was to stick by the pledge, no taxes raised for anyone, and now he's kind of fallen in line with Pelosi's plan to raise taxes on those making $1 million or more, and for now, and and hope get a commitment to some budgetary cuts somewhere down the line. Now, wow, a piece in the Heritage Foundation's Morning Bell titled "GOP Leaders Capitulate on Core Conservative Principles" goes into this quite deep. And I want to kind of touch on that because there's some really cogent points in here. And it asks the question, will they ever learn? And the answer here, folks, is an undoubted no. All right? The new offer, this Plan B, doesn't address spending at all. It puts $1 trillion of tax hikes into play, and you could, to quote the piece here, say it's so bad that conservatives are now left with only one unfortunate alternative: passing a temporary measure that avoids a doomsday scenario until the end of March. Now, what's the temporary measure they're talking about? Just continuing funding at its present levels, and everything stays the same. We haven't had a budget in 4 years. Not one budget in 4 years, and this, we're just keep putting it off and putting it off, as the article states here, kicking the can has become a routine course of action. But is it better than just going over the fiscal cliff? And I don't know. I don't think so. Because it just pushes the cliff a little further away, but it increases the altitude.
Yeah.
So, to kind of go over the negatives of this plan, Heritage Foundation's Allison Acosta Frazier outlined a few reasons why Boehner's latest proposal is just plain bad policy, and I'm quoting, of course, from the article. So here we go. She says, higher tax rates discourage all the activities that lead to a stronger economy. That's even something Obama acknowledged when he signed legislation preventing a similar tax hike 2 years ago. Dollar-for-dollar tax increases and spending cuts, Boehner's plan, won't fix what's broken. Spending cuts, not a $1 trillion tax hike, should be the GOP's focus. Well, we can all agree on that, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. After 2 years of running the House, there's still no clear plan on how Republicans would cut the spending. Even as of this late date, they provided few real guiding principles or details on spending reforms. It's the $800 billion question. Now, they also proposing to raise the debt limit for Mr. Obama for 1 year. Now, that is ridiculous. Because as Ms. Acosta Frazier points out here, it would take away one of the only points of leverage that conservatives have, and ensures that no meaningful reforms will happen in 2013. Mr. Obama wants 2 years of relinquishing control over the debt limit, basically handing him a blank check for 2 years. And Mr. Boehner is quite content, it seems, to give him at least 1 year's blank check. Miss Costa Frazier goes on to say that these factors make it clear that any deal this year will be a disaster. The alternative is hardly ideal, but kicking the can down to the end of March is the only thing we have left. It's the best possible outcome. So why March 31st is the question. Well, it will give conservatives an opportunity to live to fight another day, quote unquote, with better leverage at the negotiating table. And according to them, you know what, never mind. I'm not going into how a temporary plan and what ifs and how forth. I will just go ahead and tell you that Boehner's plan B is just, there's no give and take here. This is, Mr. Obama is standing firm, believing that he has a mandate, and that he doesn't have to come to us. We have to come to him. And so far, he's right, because he hasn't budged an inch. Tax increases on the wealthy, more entitlement spending. Give me a blank check. Now, he's asked for 2 years. Boehner's pitching 1, and he's getting it. He's going to get it, folks. We're not only going to drive over this fiscal cliff at the end of the year. We're going to go soaring off this cliff. I mean, a la what's the crazy movie with the women in it? Anyway, I can't remember the name of the movie, but in the end, where they take the old Thunderbird and just go blazing over the side of a canyon and kill themselves. Well, we're on our way. We're like Evel Knievel at Death Canyon, or whatever, Snake River Canyon. That's what it was. Where he put his little rocket ship on the ramp and then he crashed horribly. Well, this is what we're getting ready to do. And Mr. Boehner is not leading on this. They had closed door meetings with just him and Mr. Obama today, where apparently Mr. Boehner was left to speak for all of us. And then, quite frankly, I didn't elect this clown. He's from Ohio. We live in South Carolina. He doesn't speak for me. But apparently he's being allowed to. And This is what we get, this plan B here. Basically go along with what they're saying. People in poll after poll after poll, they say, well, should we raise the taxes on the rich? And they all say, yes. Yes, we should. We should raise the tax on those wealthy people. Well, to what percentage level do you think we should raise the tax? Oh, man, they need to pay 25%. Okay, great. That would be a tax cut, because the wealthiest are already paying well over, 35%?
Right.
So let's give them a 10% tax cut. Oh, but see, woefully uninformed people. Yes, I think it's a great idea that we raise the taxes on the wealthy. They have extra money. We should do that. Well, but I think they should pay a less percentage than what they're already paying, because you are woefully uninformed. You have no idea what the truth of the matter is. You have no idea how things work. You have no idea what's going on out there. And I don't mean our audience, but our audience knows people like this who think, soak those rich people. They're paying way too low. But I think they should pay a percentage that's less than what they already do. And, as this article states, kicking the can. We've done it for generations, and we're going to do it yet again. Folks, we're kicking this can into an alley. And there's not much space left at the end of it. We're coming down to where the mortar meets the metal. We're coming down to the end of this alley, and the can's just going to bounce back and pop us in the face. And it's going to happen sooner rather than later. You want to talk about America not being any more exceptional than Greece? Well, hell, we're getting ready to find out, aren't we? Because this is what we're doing. This is where we're going with it. This is exactly, I got echo. This is exactly where we're heading. $1 trillion tax increase, right? Tell me again how you're going to manage to keep the wealthy from finding places to hide their money. Not that they're being tax evaders, but tax avoiders. Kind of like Mr. John Kerry, who birthed his nice big yacht instead of in his home in Massachusetts. He birthed it out of state so that he would pay a lower tax rate. Not illegal. Not illegal at all. It's tax avoidance versus tax evasion. And here we go again. Do you think that, we've explained this over and over again. Every attempt that you make to screw over the rich is just going to wind up hurting the little guy. They have means and methods to put their money into shelters, to put their money into safe places where it can't be taxed, or help to do like Mr. Obama and the Kennedys and half the wealthy Democrats in the nation and park their money overseas somewhere. All right, you want to know where we're going? I just got a news story today. Gerard Depardieu. Remember this guy?
Yep.
The French actor, Green Card, The Three Musketeers, a French actor who was really huge in France, comes to America, makes a few movies, gets some notoriety, makes a little money here. Well, he's renouncing his French citizenship because their socialist government is taking 85% of what he earns. He's put his 10-bedroom mansion in France up for sale. He plans to renounce his French citizenship, and he's moving to, I think it was Belgium, where the tax rates are a lot lower. And you want to talk about that? Well, that's a French guy, and that's France. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. Right. Well, hey, guess what? The U.S. Census report shows that all the wealthy tax-paying Californians, well, they're bailing, baby. They're hitting the road. You know where they're heading? They're heading to Texas. Why? Well, Texas doesn't have all these confiscatory taxes. Matter of fact, let's see, what was it? The census report stating about 100,000 more people moved away from California in 2011 than moved into California. Now, this comes not off of some made-up blog from some nutbag Alex Joneser. This comes straight from the U.S. Census Bureau. Where are they moving to? Texas. Almost 59,000 of them. Californians moved to Texas. Arizona got almost 50,000 of those Texans. Nevada got 40,000 of them. Washington State got 38,000. Oregon, 34,000. Why are they running away? Well, because they're all leaving California because it's a liberal state that likes to throw money at illegal immigrants, And then the illegal immigrants are birthing babies in California, millions, thousands, hundreds, daily. You have all these confiscatory taxes happening in California, so the people with means, they're getting the hell out. You got Gerard Depardieu, he's moving away from tax-laden France. Where do we move, folks? Where do we go? Can we all move to Texas?
I don't know. There's
Or
a lot
Florida?
of room. There's a lot of room in Texas.
Oh, yeah. We're going to either, there's three states that don't have state income tax. It's Florida, Texas, and Tennessee.
Curious that they're all in the South, huh?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that's where everybody's headed. They're moving to places with no state income tax, and they're moving to places that where their tax burdens are far less. It's only a matter of time, folks. California is going to lead the way in this crumble. You're going to see it first. Jerry Brown, the moonbeam himself, is going to ride his purple unicorn up and down the streets of
Yeah, I just got a visual of that, and I wish I hadn't.
I give myself that same visual, and that kind of threw me off. But you picture Jerry Moonbeam Brown riding his purple unicorn up the streets of Sacramento. Two arms. The wealthy are leaving. The wealthy are leaving. Yeah. Where are you going to get the money from then?
Well, they're just going to all move as the population shrinks, they're just all going to move to San Francisco.
Oh, good. And then maybe it'll just fall off.
Yeah, because they're all a bunch of nut jobs there, and the only thing that's going to be left in the state is a bunch of nut jobs.
Well, I guess if they move to San Francisco, where they got public nudity is okay, I guess that'd give a new meaning to the state motto of California, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. I wonder if
Eureka.
Yeah, I wonder if Jerry Brown would go up for one of those free sex changes.
Oh, wow. At any rate, we're coming up on a break here, so I know we got to get going, but